Hey everybody, it's Joy Packard. How you guys doing tonight? Let me just grab some water real quick. It's okay to drink water on a live video, right? How are y'all doing tonight? It's been a very, very long day. It started with waking up, basically waking up to an alarm that I missed, and so it's been one of those days where you just kind of start and you just keep on going. Hey Jacob, how you doing, buddy? Miss seeing you, and it was awesome seeing you in Denver. So good. I'm glad you drink water all the time, because I'm gonna drink it one more time because I just got back from cooking. Hey Christine, hi everybody. I just was cooking some dinner for my mom. She wanted a specific omelet, and so I made it. Anyway, we got some kids' passports today, and because we're going to Mexico and we're doing all these kind of things. And you know what's crazy is I was getting their passport, and then, hey Steven, and I didn't realize that they're gonna take birth certificates. I thought they're gonna take the expired passports. So we, hey Angela, so we needed, 17 pounds. That's great, Jacob. Good for you. So proud of you. And anyway, so I was bringing these passports, and I thought they were going to take their expired passports, but they took their birth certificates. And we're going on our cruise next week. So I'll have to fix that problem tomorrow. You know, that's one thing that I was going to say, that as you know, we're talking about this topic tonight of awareness, and that is there's things that happen in our life that they just happen, right? And it's like, oh man, this happened or that happened, and we can't really control it. It's like one of those things where it's almost like when you're walking and you stumble or you step on a rock and it kind of hurts your foot for a little bit. So being aware, beware. Maybe that's why you got on here, Jenny. Beware. Joy's on live. I'm gonna have to change that caption. Yes, we're talking about being aware, not beware. And so, yeah, and so anyway, that word has become quite the word in my house lately. And that is, just things that happen. Like, for example, I was saying, like, if you're walking and you step on a stone, right, and then it hurts your foot, and you're just kind of like, man, I really wish I didn't do that, And so it happens, and then you move on. You move on, or you figure out how to tackle that one thing that you were having a hard time with. Or maybe it's another way of being aware is, like, I was in Walmart the other day, and I met this, I never go into Walmart anymore. I always do Walmart pickup, or I do grocery delivery or something like that. But today, or the other day, I went into Walmart, and that was so hard because it's just so much stuff whenever you need groceries, right? And so, Jacob, oh no, you think you broke your toe. That's terrible. You do so much walking. So I was in Walmart, and I met this amazing lady. She came up to me, and she was like in one of those, roller, what do you call it? The carts or whatever. And she's just walking around, and she saw my huge cart of groceries. And she goes, oh, wow, I want to go follow you, and have you pay for my groceries. And so it was a conversation piece, and she started talking to me, and she found out I had 8 kids, she had 9, and we just got to be talking and got to start talking. And I found out that she's this incredible lady who's been through so much in her life, and she's actually writing a book. And so I got her name, and I'm excited to read her book. But I usually I'm like a person that's in a hurry all the time. I'm really protective of my time. And I had, and I was doing that, and I was in Walmart, and I thought, I could have just kept walking and, didn't want to talk to this lady. But it was one of those things where you feel like, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to stop, and I'm going to just listen to her for just a little bit, right? And so that's what I did. And you know what? She's an incredible lady that has been through so much. And I cannot wait to, wait for her book to come out. And so... So anyway, as I was thinking about that, I was thinking about just everyday life, just like as we are with our friends and with our family, and how we are so engrossed and stuck into our own little world that we walk by, people who may need our help putting water in their car, or they may need someone to talk to, or they may, just need to have you smile at them, and even in your own household, as we're just scurrying around and getting things done and doing things without being aware. And so, as we are more aware of those things around us, the people who may need our help, the person who may need a smile, the person who may need us to just have that conversation like I had in Walmart the other day with that lady, she just ended up being this, I still am talking about her 2 or 3 days later. And it was one of those things where if I would have kept on going and not have been aware, then I would have missed that opportunity, right? And so it is like in our own homes, right? When we have our kids that want to come up to us and they want to talk, or, maybe, I have my mom living with us or whatever, and, just taking the time to do those little things and be aware. And, it could be taken like that in our relationships. It could be taken like that, as we are starting our day off. This is what I do every morning whenever I'm writing in my journal and what I want to accomplish during the day. I try and think of somebody or some way during, that I can, think of somebody that I can help. And actually I pray about, God, Heavenly Father, to put someone in my life that I can help that day. And if we make a point every single morning to be aware of somebody that may need our help, whether it's financially, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, whatever it is that we're doing, it's a great way to begin your morning. And it's awesome whenever it's the evening time and then you're reading all the stuff that you want to, that you're reviewing your day. And so I think that that is such an awesome way to live, right? And so it's just one of those things where that has been a magical word lately. I was actually on Abby Moneyhan's talk show today, her radio talk show. And that was the very word that I was telling her, on her talk show. We were talking about the frequency ladder. And for those of you who don't know her, she has an amazing talk show and podcast, Abby Moneyhan, and she's an amazing friend. And, we were just talking about that on the talk show. I actually had her on my podcast last week as well. And so being aware, it can mean so many things. It can mean, just even being cautious. It could be, like I say, all these things that we talked about. And as we become more aware in our life, it helps us to be happy, right? Because we're actually looking for opportunities to help others, to listen to them, to help someone in need, to offer our assistance. Maybe it's just that they're struggling on one little thing, and if somebody would just answer their one question on their business, they could move forward. Do you ever, have you ever been doing something and it's like you, I don't know, maybe it's a puzzle. I'm just making it up. And like, maybe there's like a piece that you need to be able to connect another piece, and you're just waiting, right? You're just kind of looking in there and making that happen. And so I think about that like in business, like when I first started Amazon, there was one thing that there was a question that I had, and I was just like, if I could just get this one question answered, maybe I can move forward, right? And so I remember reaching out to people, and they helped me on that. But it's almost like if we do that, we make that a habit to become aware. I'm all about changing the world. I'm all about helping people. And I think that would be such an amazing thing to be aware, right? That story, like I told you from Walmart, was an incredible story because, like I say, she ended up being an amazing woman. I have stories like that happen all the time, where I run into people and, maybe I'm just walking down the street and then, I see this mom. Like today, we were in the passport office and there was a lady that looked like she needed some help. And, she did speak perfect English. And so she was kind of asking, oh, is this where you get that? And so, it's like looking around to see, like, who can I help, right? And so I don't know. I just think that has been such a strong word in my life lately, in my business, in my relationships, and, time with my kids, time with others, people who I don't even know. It's been amazing. And, we talk about, whenever I go to events and how important it is to network. It's like whenever you're networking, maybe it's to look around a room Yeah, Kim, that's true. And it's true. Sometimes I know what you mean because when I first started out, like I was like, who, I don't know if I want to reach out to them because they are, maybe this high up or something like that. And so, Jacob, that's so true. Jacob is one who actually really gives of his time. He's always helping people. And so very aware. And so, I try and do the best I can when people reach out to me, on Facebook or on a direct message. Those of you who know me know my time is so super limited and I, really particular about my time. But it's true that like, maybe somebody reached out and just said, I just had this question or whatever. And they're respectful about it, because you have to be respectful of people's time as well. Because, these people, everybody's busy, right? All of us have things that are going on. And as long as we're aware, there's that word again. See, that word aware seems to keep on coming into play somehow. As long as we are aware of people's time, as long as we are aware of, basically people around us and wanting to help them, being aware of when we're walking around and seeing who may need our help, it's incredible. And so if you, think of that word in your vocabulary, and you can think of it in a different way, how can I be more aware? And so I wanted to share that story with you in Walmart the other day because it was so touching. Maybe I was one more story I was going to share with you. And okay, I'll share this with you and then I probably should go. I have some family that's here visiting. A couple of my grandkids came in from town. And so there was one time whenever we were in our motorhome and we were basically heading home and we had to be home for school. And, it was a 12-hour drive. And I remember thinking to myself, we've got to hurry. And we were driving and on the side of the road, my husband was aware. I wasn't aware. I was aware that I needed to get my kids home, but he was aware. And he saw this lady that was stuck on the side of the road, right? And we ended up stopping, and I remember telling my husband, what are we doing? We need to get the kids home for school. And he's like, let's just check on this lady. Anyway, we went to go check on her and found out that her car had died, and she had actually been praying for someone to stop. And so at that time, my husband had this husky beard. We were, in Colorado or something. He let his beard grow. And she ended up trusting us to, bring her what she needed to go get gas or whatever it was that we needed. And I remember it taking quite a bit of time. And to this very day, here I am, 6 or 7 years or 8 years later, still thinking about that event or that episode of being aware on my husband's part, because I was more, like I say, thinking, I need to get home, or I need to be doing that kind of stuff. But because he was aware and he made that decision to stop and to help somebody, right? It's just like, it's almost like when you're going about your day, whether it's in your home and walking around, whether it's being on Facebook and, being aware of the people that are in the groups or who need your help, or maybe it's just like like I say, a perfect example is whenever I was in Walmart the other day, right? And I was aware of that lady who needed to just have the conversation. So anyway, I think it was an awesome example, a couple of stories I just wanted to share with you tonight. Those who don't know about the podcast, we have been adding some awesome interviews lately. It's called Joy Reveals. It's on iTunes. If you have the Android phone, it's on your Stitcher app. We have up to 14 episodes. We're trying to add an episode or two a week. And the last episode we had interviewed Abby Moneyhun, and the week before that was Stephen Pierce, I think, and then David Fry the week before that. And we're going to be having, part of the topics that we talk about are travel and business tips. I'm actually going to be interviewing somebody who travels with his points, uses his credit cards in a specific way, and he's actually on a trip right now in Budapest, I think it was, or Prague or somewhere, and so trying to catch him on the right time. So bring people like that. It's really, really awesome. And, we do travel and business tips. We're going to talk about, personal development, things like what are ways that we can become the best version of ourselves. So if you're not on that podcast or haven't downloaded and subscribed to it, it's really fun. I have a good time when I'm on there. Sometimes it's just me, and lately the last 3 times has been an interview. And that's the other thing is like I really enjoy connecting with people. Their stories are amazing, and these last few interviews have been awesome, and learning about their lives, learning about what they're doing, and it's really, really good. Hey, Christine, thank you so much. That's so nice of you to say. Boy, I have a lot of our people from our Simples on Seller event on this actual Facebook Live. It's awesome. We are actually doing a soft launch of the Simples on Seller membership site right now. It's just kind of for the event attendees and word of mouth. Our hard launch will happen in 60 days, so that's really, really awesome. And lastly, before I forget, Simples on Seller 2019 will probably be next February. And you know what I'm thinking about doing? Because we live 45 to 50 minutes from a cruise port, which is called Galveston, I'm thinking of having our event like on Friday and Saturday like we did, and then those who want to hop along on Sunday for a 4-day cruise or something to Mexico, we will just, whoever's at the event and wants to come, that's kind of my idea. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, I've kept you guys long enough, and like I say, I have some grandkids here. I hope you guys are having an amazing evening. It's been a very busy day in so many ways, but so fulfilling at the same time. So anyway, Christine, thanks for listening to the podcast. If you guys would, when you listen to it, if you would subscribe and if you would rate it, that would be awesome. On the podcast or in the iTunes, I don't know how it is on Stitcher, but on the iTunes app, there's a way to give a rating. Make sure you pick 5 stars and you write a review. Every time you do that, it just makes the show rise up a little bit more. And so I'm super excited to be sharing, the different ideas and everything like that. And so, yes, it's going to be awesome. Cannot wait to see all of you again one day, and especially our event. I'm gonna throw one more thing out. So many things, I know, but I'm actually doing my very first personal development retreat. Probably will happen in October. Probably in Costa Rica. I'm going to be visiting Costa Rica with my husband. We have some people that I wanted to check out the resort to make sure it's exactly what I want, but it's going to be amazing. We're only going to take 20 to 25 people. It's going to be a small, intimate group where we talk about energy medicine and juicing and how I healed my knee the natural way, essential oils, everything that basically can help you become the best version of yourself. So exciting. And I know you guys are all thinking, man, you were doing so many things, but you have to remember that I do a lot of outsourcing. I don't do all of this myself. So Christine, that's right. And you've got the tools to do so. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. I know that you, evenings are busy, but when I have a thought, I like to pop on and say a quick hi to you and share them with you and hope it helps you in some way. So it is time to get back to my grandkids and finish cooking dinner and such. So anyway, thanks for listening. You guys take care. Talk to you soon.